So why should children be educated about dementia? My name's John Pops, and I am journeying with frontotemporal PPA, primary progressive aphasia dementia. Thank you if you're joining me on the channel for the first time. Welcome back if you've seen some of my previous ones. You probably can gather through the chats I've had online with various people that my passion is for the education of children around the world into exactly what dementia is, or quite often what it isn't. Because if they have been exposed to the reality of the if they haven't been exposed to the reality of dementia, trust me, they will at some point. 100% guarantee virtually nowadays that all children walking about on the planet will at some point in their lives be touched by some form of dementia within the family or friends or people nearby them. So when a child mixes or interacts with somebody, a family member, even friend or whatever, somebody they know with dementia, they're far better prepared for later things. Why? Because they always seem to be able to see the person and not the disease or the whatever's dictating that person's life at their moment. They always just still see the person. And from my experience in the classrooms and my own grandchildren, they see me as Pops. They always see me as Pops and not the dementia. Whereas adults I meet, they are looking at me through glasses which say filtered by dementia. Children don't have those glasses yet. They don't have the dementia glasses, and of course, which means that when they are eventually exposed to what dementia is, and of course what it isn't, then their ideas of, or their thoughts or of what dementia is not shattered in any way, because they already know what it is because they've seen it. So that's why I think it's important that the education of the children in schools is so important, and because to stop the stigma being built in them, break down some barriers within certain households and families, and right into the family home. When the children are educated about this particular disease, somehow they become more endearing and more empathetic towards not just us but other people with disabilities and handicaps and whatever in their lives, and they become more caring and even nurturing to them, to us, like, even being older, like, because we're just people. And of course that leads to hugely more positive contributions from them into the community. I'm sure if we gave the children a little bit more credit for other than just their age, we'd be very surprised at what they can do, and I'm convinced also that the cure for this horrible disease, is somewhere sitting within our grandchildren's age, 5 to 10-year-olds at the moment. That's where that age group of children is where the cure is for this particular disease, I'm sure. If you're watching this and you have a diagnosis yourself, maybe you can get some purpose back into your days. You know, whatever we got left, we don't know for sure, but then we didn't know what days we got left even without the dementia. We're just a bit more aware of it now. You know, get some purchase back into your life, and you know, maybe approach your local Alzheimer's societies or dementia well-being places, you know, within an NHS. Or your own health services if you're watching this from the other side of the planet, and you know, do something, feel yourself doing something positive, like, you know. It could also be that you're watching this and you know somebody who's might have dementia or does have a diagnosis of dementia but is feeling a bit lost, like, you know, they've still got the capacity to not work necessarily, but be do something. Perhaps lean them towards diving into study and research. You know, it doesn't pay money wise, but the satisfaction and payback you get emotionally is just huge. And I'm also convinced that by doing things like this, it does. For me anyway, I'm 100% convinced that what I've done and I am doing is slowing my own journey down. It's not. I know it's not going to stop it, and it's never going to go in reverse. But I'm convinced that the more I do every day, the slowing of it is down. You know. And if you know somebody this, either yourself or know somebody that might fit into the same world as I'm sitting in at the moment, then, you know, suggest it. Call me if you want. Just contact me somehow. I'll have a chat with them. Like, go wherever you are on the planet. And of course, all your, you know, positive thoughts and messages and stuff is always very helpful, and you know, cheering us on from the sidelines is well received. You know, it gives us validation of what we're doing is okay, you know, and it's all right. And people like what we're doing, you know, we're not offending people. So yeah, it's hugely rewarding. I think of myself as an advocate for self-attitude. You know, if you wake up in the morning, you want to be miserable and sorry for yourself, that's what will happen, that's what you'll be. But if you wake up and you're determined to do something good to help other people, what's it that I heard somebody say the other week, that it's nice when you're happy. Life is good when you're happy, but it's even better if other people are happy because of you. You know, and that's a true saying if ever I heard one. And dementia does happen to a family. It doesn't just happen to one person. I've got, you know, thankfully I've got a good family around me who's helping, you know, me along the journey. Like, they're the ones that live with it, not me. I journey with it. They're the ones that live with it by having me in the family, like, you know. And every single family on the planet starts with a child. So why not educate that child in the family, you know, about what potentially is going to happen at some point later on to somebody that they know, or even them. Like, I wasn't prepared by my own parents, my own family and friends or schools, you know, back in the days when I was at school in the 60s and whatever, early 70s, when I was, you know, whatever. So I know where stigma comes from, and I was a passenger on a stigma bus myself. You know, I was frightened and scared. I didn't know anything that was unusual or different, you know, you put up these horrible words to call them, like, you know, it's as a protective barrier. And I was one of those people, and I have to say that it's my own shame of what I used to think about older people and people with dementia and mental illnesses and such like. My own shame has now become my fuel for the purpose I have in helping, you know, even more so. And I don't care what people say about me. Horrible, nasty, horrible things. Stigma doesn't affect me at all, because I've been on their side of the fence, like, you know. So in some respects, I already know what people are thinking when just looking at me, you know. But that's fine, because I take every single insult or put down as an opportunity of education. Nothing more than that, you know. You won't kill me with words, sticks and stones, whatever. Words will never hurt me. Well, that's true with me. People know that already. I wish I did have had earlier understanding of what dementia is, but the potential hurt, harm and upset it causes families, not just for me obviously, but for all the, you know, there's 55 million of us walking, you know, people with dementia walking about on the planet with us at the moment. I'm just one of those 55 million people. Nothing special about me, different, like, except that I've maybe chosen to stand up and help talk about it, you know. So is it worth investing a few minutes of somebody's week, you know, to educate the younger children? Hell yes, of course it is, you know, absolutely, 100% yes. And I hope somebody out there, the other side of this screen, can look at themselves and think, oh, I know somebody that's just set perfectly for that, looking for some purpose to do something, or, you know, yeah, I can do that, John, you know, tell me what to do, sort of thing, you know. I'm good in it, and you get your purpose back, you get your worth back in society, and it validates you as a human being back in humanity again. Is a huge thing. Just do it, that's all I can say. Thank you very much for listening. I hope I've improved your day a slight bit. Maybe, I don't know. Perhaps I should just lie down and tell jokes or something.